What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname, back at it with another Giants/NFL video. And first of all, addressing the elephant in the room, yeah, I haven't really uploaded a video in like 4 days, but I had schoolwork to do, and as you guys know, I put that first, so that kind of got in the way a little bit. It did mess up my NFL draft content schedule. Like Friday, this video was supposed to come out, and then on Sunday, my third mock draft was supposed to come out. And then if there was any major Giants news to be covered, you know, I would cover it in between them. Luckily, there was nothing too major that happened over the weekend, and now you're getting the top 5 safeties video. I'm hoping to get the third mock draft up by next weekend, you know, this coming weekend, and we'll see how it goes from there. I doubt I'll finish all positions by the time the draft rolls around and whatnot, but we'll see how it goes. You know, I just got kind of swamped with work over the entire weekend, and I really had to put my time towards that. So hope you guys understand. And but now we're back, and now first thing we're gonna do is talk about the top 5 safeties in the 2020 NFL draft. A very good safety class, not necessarily deep, but it has really good players for a good amount of time, if that makes any sense. Like the first 3 or 4 rounds of safeties are going to be really good guys to have on your team. So let's start it off. Coming in at number 5, we got Jeremy Chin, safety out of Southern Illinois. If some of my viewers recognize him, it's because I have mocked him to the Giants in both of my mock drafts. He's risen like exponentially since the first mock draft up draft boards. But Jeremy Chin, really good safety. Quick fact: 6'3", 219 pounds, consistent with at least 3 interceptions and 5 deflections a year, tracks the quarterback's eyes and is always attacking the ball, a good run defender with great closing speed. Chin is one of 2 small school guys that I have on this list that really showed out when they had the chance to show out at their colleges. Now here's the thing with Chin: you're going to get the best version out of him when he's on the field paying attention and actually tracking those quarterbacks' eyes. Because there's moments on the field where you can see that, I'm not sure if it's maybe he's distracted easily or something, but it doesn't happen too often. But when he does have his mindset on the game and you can see it physically, you know, with his head facing forward and whatnot, you're going to get the best play out of him. His interceptions that he makes, they're not right time, right place type of interceptions. They're interceptions from reading the offenses correctly, predicting what the quarterback is going to do, and jumping in front of the ball because you know what's going to happen right at a right time, right place. He doesn't have any type of elite playmaking speed, but he makes up for it with a great closing speed. And what I mean by that is he really can't keep pace with any top-notch wide receivers. You know, like for example, Tyreek Hill and whatnot. Then again, there's not that many people that can. But what he can do is chase them down and close into them and make a good tackle, which he's very good at. Very good at making tackles and wrapping them up. Nice and aggressive with it. His body size actually is great for that. I think he's one of the larger, if not the largest, safeties I have on this list. He has a good body size and he uses it to his advantage to sort of bully receivers or tight ends that he might be on, or maybe even be, you know, try to make it an even match with the tight ends. He has a nice, you know, physical ability that he definitely uses to his advantage. And to close it off on a sort of an interesting note for Chin here, he shows potential to be a versatile player in the NFL. SIU and their coaches did try to use him in different sets over there. You know, they did try to put him at linebacker at times because of his size, you know, that type of money backer role where maybe he can't succeed in the NFL, but he did not have success with it at the college level. And like, you could point that to coaching, you could point that to maybe he's just a good old safety, you could point that to any reason, but he shows the potential to have great versatility at the NFL level, because when playing at linebacker, sometimes when even playing at slot cornerback, you know, a very big slot cornerback, he does show potential for it. It just wasn't executed well at the college level. Coming in at number 4 out of California, we got safety Ashton Davis, 6'1", 202 pounds, great athletic ability, fast and versatile, aggressive and good tackler when closing in on the ball carrier, and known at the college level for his man coverage skills. Now Davis is a very interesting player because he actually walked on to the football team at California. He got into California because of a track team scholarship. So this dude is known for, you know, his running skills, maybe his endurance and whatnot. And he started off on the football team on special teams, where he made his way up through the ranks basically. Like, so he started off on special teams. I think he got the special teams MVP 2 years in a row. Then he worked his way up to cornerback and eventually to safety. So right away, right, immediately, what this tells you about him is that A, he's a quick learner, B, he's a hard worker, and C, he probably has great character. I mean, winning special teams MVP doesn't just go into what you do on the field. It's probably voted upon, at least for, you know, with most teams when they vote for their own MVPs, voted upon by the players and the coaching staff and whatnot, and they definitely would have recognized something in his character there. I mean, also feeds into being a hard worker, you know. So like I said, he is a track field star, so it obviously shows on the football field because he has really good speed, especially recovery speed. If he falls back a little bit, he could catch up with the ball carrier very efficiently and effectively. And also when he backpedals is very smooth, and any, you know, type of quickness on the field that he has or athletic ability that transfers from track, it helps to make up a little bit with what he doesn't see on the field, because he is still relatively new to the game. Yes, he learned it, you know, in about 3 or 4 years, but there's still a lot left for him to, you know, gain knowledge on. So his football IQ definitely not up there with, you know, the other guys on this list in my opinion. He's still very smart in regards to football, but you could see when he misses, you know, like he misses a play action being a play action and stuff like that. He just misses diagnosing what the play is actually going to be, but his speed does make up for it. He's a good tackler when you're using him sort of as the last line of defense. That's the very words I'm getting from one of these scouts here, and I have no other way to word it because that's really what it is. If there's a guy, you know, that let's say a running back bursts out the backfield, he gets through your defensive line, gets through your linebackers, what's next? Your cornerbacks and safeties. That's where he's a good tackler at, because he knows how to then diagnose it. He's seen enough of the play to know what's going to happen, and his speed will make up for it, and he wraps up really nicely. Like I said, known for his man coverage rather than zone skills, so he does need to improve there, especially when it comes to diagnosing plays. But when he's in man-to-man matchups, he's as good as any safety in the college level. I was about to say in the NFL. And he does have kind of like Shin versatility to him because he's played on special teams, he's played at cornerback and at safety. So you can move him around the team if you want to. Next up on the list, coming in at number 3, we got another small school dude, Kyle Duggar out of Illinois Ryan University, 6'1", 217 pounds, elite size, speed, production, and explosiveness at the college level. Wingspan allows for great tackling when you're actually in his tackle radius, and a great work ethic and competitiveness on the field. Now, first thing I'd like to say is that he played at an even smaller school than SIU, than Jeremy Chin did, and he looked like a man amongst boys when you're looking at his tape playing at this school. It makes you wonder how, you know, he slipped past the bigger colleges, you know, not even in Division 1, maybe even just in Division 2, a school like SIU. How did he slip past these scouts and end up at Illinois Ryan? Well, whatever the case is, it doesn't matter, because this dude crammed the stat sheet with all types of elite traits that he could. He's one of the best pure athletes in the 2020 draft, period. Not just for safeties, but all around. At his size, he's very muscular, right? But he's still very fast for it, and he showed it off at the Senior Bowl. He was one of the first players in a long time, I don't know the exact amount of years, to be invited to the Senior Bowl from LR, and he's probably going to be the first player to be drafted from LR since 2000, the 2000 draft. That's 20 years, and this guy is so good that he's the first one in 20 years to do it. And one of the things I love about him is it isn't just that he's one of the best athletic, you know, pure athletes in the game right now, but he pairs it up with great technical ability, and he works on his technical ability. It's something that he prides himself on, and I like that a lot. You know, that's what differs him from guys like Ashton Davis that are really kind of pure athletes, because of his technical ability, he's good in zone coverage. Now, he's not the best, and there's still some stuff to work on, but he's still really good in zone coverage. He knows when to diagnose plays and how to do it. He's great in man coverage, and that is really helped out by the fact that he's so big and his wingspan, you know, allows him to tackle a lot. The thing is, though, it only happens when the player's in his tackle radius. He's not really known for, I guess, making on-the-move tackles. But if a player is coming towards him, or they just so happen to be within his arm span, they're going down, and the defense is going to stop that play. His ball skills are also greatly helped by the fact that he even played a running back at LR at times. Once again, because at Division 2 he looked like a man amongst boys, and it does feed into, it can be difficult to judge how good he really is, which is why I'm going to try and focus a little bit more on the technical side of things. But given into how he knows how to study offense, and because he has a blue-collar work attitude and whatnot, part of that is also helped out by the fact that he did play on offense at LR, being a running back. So right away, you already know that leads into his versatility. He could be strong safety, free safety, nickel cornerback. He could probably even be a money backer. That Dion, what's his name, man? Dion Buchanan from the Cardinals, I think a couple years ago, was a great money backer. And of course, good man coverage skills, good zone coverage skills. He earns his spot very convincingly at number 3 here. I'm excited to see what he does and how he translates to the NFL. Next up, coming in at number 2, we kind of have the top tier guys now, these last two. Grant Delpit, safety out of LSU, 6'2", 213 pounds, quick, twitchy, very versatile in man and zone, very intelligent, and processes the game quickly. In a line of great LSU, defensive backs and safeties that's come out in the past 10 years or so, he may be the best. Of course, LSU is being called the new DBU. Can't really blame them. They got the track record to prove it. And Grant Delpit, and I think, you guys know who number 1 is going to be, but between these two guys, they're in a tier of their own for sure, and it was very difficult to decide which was better than the other. Delpit and McKinney are just so good that it's really more like a 1A, 1B situation. But let's get into Delpit. So the thing about Delpit is that he's almost a perfect safety except for his tackling, which is weird because every other safety on this list has a good tackling. I want to get into that immediately. It's very weird to look at when you look at the tape. I mean, I think you guys could even see it in some of his tackles. It's a very weird form. I don't know what to call it. Like he lowers his shoulders, but he seems scared to do it. And it's also like as he lowers his shoulders, he also lowers his head. So that's not going to fly in the NFL. But his tackling looks weird. And it's not just that it looks weird, it's that when you go through actual tape, not just highlights, he whiffs on some tackles and he misses tackles because of that form. That is something that needs to be fixed. I want to get that out of the way. Definitely his worst trait, his biggest con. But other than that, he's near perfect in every other category. You know what I'm saying? Coverage spacing, very incredible. Helped out by that football IQ to break down the routes and see what's happening. Helped out by his acceleration, where he's really fast on the field and he beats his teams to the football at times. They go hand in hand because he could process plays. That also plays into why he beats his teammates to the ball and all that. Very good in zone coverage. Has nice ball tracking ability and can get down to the line of scrimmage to try and make a stop there if it's a run play. In fact, most of the plays he makes are in zone coverage because of his vertical ability also. Very good in man coverage. Yeah, he can play press at times, but we're not really going to see him doing that at the NFL level in my opinion. I really think he's going to be a free safety type of guy. He's better when he's playing a little bit back rather than going up, in press, but I wouldn't put it past him to try and actually conquer that part of his game. He's very fluid, nice hip rotation, nice flexibility. Looks really smooth when backpedaling, really smooth when going through the game. Kind of makes it look easy, kind of makes it look like he's playing in slow motion. And it doesn't look like something a normal human being can do, but it looks natural when he's doing it, if that makes any sense. And it's all tied together with really, really good effort that he puts on the field. He's always on the field. He's always constantly all over the football, around the football. And once again, helped by his football IQ, which in my opinion, that processing power and just his knowledge of the game is probably his best trait, which is my favorite trait to have in a player. Grant Delpit, like I said, man, is really more of a 1A, 1B rather than a number 1 and a number 2 when it comes to these safeties. But there is one guy that beats him out, and that is Xavier McKinney, safety out of Alabama. Coming in at 6 feet, 201 pounds, an elite combination of just pure talent and technical ability, high football IQ and toughness on the field, consistent tackling and effectiveness in zone and man coverage. So, in case you guys were wondering what might have put over McKinney, over Delpit for me, it would be right there. I put it on quick facts. Consistent tackling is something that he does better than Delpit for sure. Also, everything that Delpit does, great, McKinney does a little bit better, believe it or not. I said that Delpit's best trait was probably his football IQ. Well, McKinney is without a doubt the smartest safety in this draft class. And whereas every other person on this list was sort of a combination of athletic ability and football IQ, the combination that McKinney has of talent and football IQ is better in my opinion because, the talent just straight up comes with instinctively knowing what to do during the game and how to play the game. Just knowing how to move your body and contort it in ways, knowing how to, use your ability to its advantages. And, you know, just talent. When I think of talent, for example, you know, you kind of think of like Odell. And Odell, one is in the NFL level as a receiver, is very athletic, but he was known for his talent because he could do what no other player could have, you know, when he was at the top of his game. McKinney is similar in that sense at the college level. And it's not just the talent alone. If it was talent alone, he probably would have been at the number 2 spot for me. But he has a nice floor, you know, speaking floor and ceiling. He has a very high ceiling, but he also has a nice floor. Great coverage spacing, great tackling, great zone coverage skills, great man coverage skills. Is very competitive on the field and is very versatile. You could ask him to do probably anything on the field, whether it's playing a money backer, a free safety, a strong safety, a cornerback. He could fit in any of those roles really well. And getting into just the technical side of it a little bit, in zone coverage, instincts is what rules the game for him. He just knows what to do. And yes, I will attribute some of it towards, you know, him, you know, studying tape off the field and whatnot, but you could tell it's just instincts. It's like he knows what to do before he even does it. Like his body just starts moving before his mind catches up with it. Like he just follows the you know, he mirrors the QB's eyes. He knows what angles to take. He knows who to tackle. He knows who, you know, when to drop back and when to jump up again an interception. Same thing in man coverage. He's not a lockdown defensive back or anything, but he doesn't need to be. He just needs to be a pest and disrupt the game, and because of that, and because of the football IQ, because of the talent, because of the good size that he has, he'll get an interception or something. He'll make plays. McKinney is just quite simply the best safety in this class, and I don't think I could quite express it in words. You just need to go and look at it a little bit. But he's the best at every, you know, position. I guess every category you could list down for a safety, compared to everybody else in the class. And while it is a 1A, 1B to Delpit, the most important thing that puts it over is that he's up there in football IQ and his tackling for me. So that's what I got for y'all today on the top 5 safety list. Went a little longer than I expected it to. Let me know what you all think. How would you have ranked them? Do you agree with the rankings and all that? And I'm out for now. Peace. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out. Yeah.